Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to the No DQ live recap of Monday Night Raw for October 21st, 2019. Thank you to everyone out there, whether you're watching live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership. If you are watching live, please share a link to this video. Tell a friend, anybody who watches wrestling. Let's try to make this an entertaining live stream. We kicked off Raw with a video package recapping Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. Of course, the end of Raw last week, we saw Seth literally burn it down. He burned down the Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse, murdering poor Rambling Rabbit in the process. During this episode of Raw, it was announced that Bray has, in fact, rebuilt the Firefly Funhouse, and we will see that this Friday on SmackDown, which will be airing on FS1 due to the World Series coverage on Fox. We had the intro, we had the pyro, so that has not gone away yet. This was billed as the first Raw post-draft. We had, two claps and a Ric Flair. Ric Flair come out to kick off the show. He talked about Hogan's team. He put them over, but saying Hogan's team not as good as his team, and he has one last card to play. Then he introduced Shane McMahon's lackey, Drew McIntyre, as the final member of Team Flair. We had Ricochet come out for a match with Drew McIntyre. Ric Flair was there at ringside, and Rick even did a promo during the match. He called out Hulk Hogan, inviting Hogan to appear on SmackDown and confront him. Flair was entertaining here, but he sounded very old. He sounded like he was on the verge of losing his dentures. Drew McIntyre and Ricochet, pretty darn good match to kick off Raw. I really enjoyed it. Back and forth between these two, but in the end, Drew hit the Claymore and defeated Ricochet, a very game Ricochet. And then Drew beat up Ricochet post-match for good measure to really try to build himself up again leading into Crown Jewel. He hit the reverse Alabama slam to Ricochet on the steel steps. So pretty good opening to Raw. Can't really go wrong with Ric Flair. And then you had a solid Ricochet and Drew McIntyre match. We had the OC backstage with a promo. And to answer OG's question, do you think they're building Drew back up? Probably for a couple of weeks until the company gives up on him again. I don't see Flair's team winning at Crown Jewel. Now, maybe Drew will get disqualified or something. I'm not sure if it's an elimination match. I don't think it is. I think it's just first team to score a fall wins. So I don't see Drew getting beat in that match, but I'm pretty confident that Team Hogan will win. And where Drew goes from there, who knows? Psycho Jet Black, first super chat of the evening. So Psycho Jet Black is the brand new reigning and defending No DQ super chat champion. And Psycho Jet Black wins it from DJ Mike, I believe, who was the last champion. Psycho Jet Black says, with the wood chipper from Fargo, is Cain Velasquez officially a member of Raw? Also, is Bobby Lashley more over than EC3? Well, I'll tell you what, EC3 is more over than these. Is this guy more over than EC3 comments based off of the responses in the comments on YouTube? Apparently, Cain is not assigned to either brand at this time. So he's like a John Cena. He's like an Undertaker. He's a free agent. He can appear on any show he wants to, basically. Now, of course, that all could change, but I don't know how much we're going to see Cain on Raw as a regular character. Power Packers 90 with a $2 super chat says, do you like the Slash Street Boy? New song is legitimate. Little off topic there, Power Packers 90, but yes, I do like it. It is a suitable follow-up to the first song from the group. What was the first song? I'll Kill You That Way. Excellent song, and then their follow-up, as long as You're Bloody or something like that. Yeah, both songs are great. Anyways, moving on here. Let's get back to Raw. No more off-topic stuff, guys, because I'll get some thumbs down, and I need those thumbs up. Just like the Street Profits need the smoke, I need the thumbs up. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. We had the OC cut a promo. They talked about how Anderson and Gallows are the most decorated tag team, while the Street Profits are just rookies. And AJ Styles even brought up, getting that smoke is illegal here, you morons. Gallows then added for good measure that Cleveland doesn't rock, but they actually suck. So there you go. We had a little video package hyping up all the new talents to Monday Night Raw. Andrade, Buddy Murphy, and Aleister Black were all featured. We had Aleister do a little promo talking about how he likes to think there's a little bit of a method to his madness, and he said he wants a fight with somebody. We then had Aleister come out for a match with an enhancement talent, picked up the quick victory with the Black Mass, and shout out to Dio, who is starting to win me over. He made a reference to Castlevania 2 with the line, "What a horrible night to have a curse." So I appreciated that, Dio, and you're starting to win some brownie points with me as a commentator. Mr. Anderson says, why is Aleister Black wrestling a nobody? Just to build him up, and they really have no storyline idea for the guy, which I'm fine with the squash matches, as I've pointed out. If you don't have a good idea for the guy, then just let him pick up some wins to build up his repertoire and make fans more familiar with his moveset and whatnot. So I'm fine with it. We had a little Authors of Pain video promo, and they said that Raw signed them to keep them from going to SmackDown, and they talked about being violent men in a violent world, and they're writing the book in WWE, Authors of Pain, and yada, 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 all that stuff. Then we had the Jerry the King Lawler King's Court segment with special guest Rusev, and Dio did it again. Dio with another cool reference, talking about how Rusev has a mustache and he's strong with the plow, which was a reference to Borat, and I very much appreciated that. So that's 2 tonight. Dio, you're winning me over, man. Keep it up. Keep up the references, and you might be my announcer of the year in the 2019 NoDQ.com year-end awards. Paul Jackson, 1988, with a $5 super chat. So congratulations to Paul Jackson. And by the way, to anybody out there, $5 super chat makes you the new champion. He says, new super chat champ with the $1 million dream. Remember, everybody has a price. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, back to Monday Night Raw. We had Lawler talk about the stuff that Lana did with Bobby Lashley, and crowd started chanting "what" at Jerry Lawler. The WWE on Fox Twitter account actually went on a little rant about the fans chanting "what," and then the tweet got deleted. Rusev stood up for Lawler and called out the fans, saying, "Come on now, he's a Hall of Famer. Why are you guys chanting "what" at him?" I don't think the fans were chanting "what" at Lawler. I think they were chanting "what" because they think the storyline is stupid, but that's just how I see it, at least. By the way, I don't really have a problem with the storyline. At least it's a storyline. At least it's something. I mean, it's not really good or anything, but at least we got some kind of story, which is nice. I would like more stories on Monday Night Raw. We had Rusev basically vowing to crush Lashley for poisoning Lana's brain. And he said that he still wears his wedding band because he's hopeful that one day they'll be able to get through all this. And I got news for you, Rusev. It doesn't work that way, my friend. Got to admire his courage to try and look at the positive result and hope that this goes to the happily ever after. They make up, everything's good. Poor Rusev, poor guy. So anyways, we had Lashley and Lana on the Titantron. They were in some restaurant, aka backstage, with a couple of tables set up, probably. And you had Lana saying that she asked Rusev to take her to this restaurant and he never did it, but Lashley did it because he is a gentleman. And Rusev then responded to this by saying he knows exactly where they are and he's coming to get them. And he proceeded to run out of the ring and run to the backstage area to, I guess, drive to wherever this location was. So apparently, for all these years, Lana was always asking Rusev to eat at this certain restaurant in Cleveland, Ohio. Maybe it was the Hard Rock Cafe or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Cafe. Robert Hansen with a $5 super chat. Robert, congratulations. You are the brand new No DQ Super Chat champion. And he says he wins the championship with 13 curb stomps. And then he says, when will you continue the No DQ&A question videos? I think you're at 1,100 or something. Also, is Ming more over than EC3? Well, to answer your question real quick, I stopped doing the pre-taped Q&As just because I've been doing so many live streams and I've been doing the Q&As as live streams. But I have thought about the idea of bringing back the Q&As as a pre-recorded video, but I may only do that if there's any kind of significant demand for it. So if you guys want to see it back, leave a comment on YouTube and let me know you want to see it back and thumbs up the comments of people saying they want it back. If I feel there's enough demand for it, I will certainly consider bringing it back. And is Ming more over than EC3? Yes. Ken Terminated by Google says, with a $5 super chat, which makes our man Ken once again the champion, says he slaps the Ringmaster's version of the $1 Million Dream on Robert Hansen. By the way, have you heard of the Ringmaster Rift? I heard he's very popular. I have heard of him, and I heard the Ringmaster went on to do some great things. Just something a little birdie out there told me. But thank you for that, Ken. I appreciate it, and congratulations on being like a 536-time champion now. Moving back to Raw, we had Andrade come out with Zelina Vega. She cut a promo saying that his music is a siren to let everyone know that their careers are in danger. And then she said that Sin Cara stands for without face, and after their match, Sin Cara would not only be leaving without a face, but also without a victory. Very poetic there from Zelina Vega. Sin Cara came out, big hype about this being his first match back, and they brought up how Sin Cara is a 9-year veteran of WWE, or 8-year, however long it's been. That is crazy to think that Sin Cara has been around for so long. It really, really is something that I'm still trying to wrap my brain around. But nonetheless, we had this match, Andrade, Sin Cara, pretty good match between these two. You had Humberto Carrillo backstage watching on the monitor with his Mighty Morphin Power Ranger outfit. Andrade did pick up the win, and there was a little bit of outside interference. Zelina hit a Dragon Rana when the referee wasn't looking, and then Andrade picked up the scraps and hit the Hammerlock DDT to score the victory. Backstage, we had Humberto cut a promo, talked about how he plans to be a future Universal Champion. He even said that he's going to do it without burning things down like Seth Rollins. So a little bit of a jab there at the Architect. And I don't really think that this was a very good promo, but Humberto, if he gets over in WWE, it's going to be based off of his skills in the ring, probably not his mic skills. Speaking of promos, we had the Street Profits cut a promo and said that the OC might be mother lovers. And what kind of catchphrase is that, by the way? But the Street Profits said that the mothers love the Profits even more. And they're going to get the smoke in the main event. And they're still keeping their mystery partner a secret. But they mentioned a little clue here that the mystery partner is not a fan of one AJ Styles. Then we had the segment that I can't imagine too many people care about at this stage of the game. We had R-Truth backstage with the 24/7 title, and then he ran into one of the Bollywood boys. The other Bollywood boy proceeded to roll up R-Truth and capture the 24/7 title. I just don't care about it at this point. And if WWE had just quietly dropped the championship, I wouldn't have even noticed. Like, to me, it's just, it's done. It ran its course, and now it's just boring. And WWE's not even doing something fresh with it. If you were going to keep the 24/7 championship around, at least do something different with it. It's just boring and repetitive now. I know Caitlyn cares about R-Truth, but Caitlyn might be the only one at this point. Maybe a few do. I mean, I still care about R-Truth, but the 24/7 title, it's just boring to me at this point. Next up, we had the Viking Raiders against Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Ryder and Hawkins were grateful for their opportunity at the Viking Raiders, and they said that they're going to go out there and make it so people stop calling them underdogs and start calling them winners. Ha 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 ha. Good one there. Anyways, Ryder and Hawkins were hoping for pyro, but of course they got no pyro. They did not get the smoke, but they did get smoked by the Viking Raiders in what was a glorified squash match, and that was that. My man Hank Schrader on the shitter with a $2 super chat says, Raw is for 6-year-olds watching Monday Night Football, and El Camino was a 7.5 out of 10. Well, hard to argue that one, Hank Schrader on the shitter. And I think I would agree with the El Camino rating. You know, I give the movie a B. Didn't think it was an A, but I did enjoy it overall. Moving back to wrestling now. Vikings won with the Viking Experience. We had Bobby Lashley, or Bob the Lash, and Lana in the restaurant. The owner asked them to leave because he was worried about Rusev showing up and making trouble, and he even volunteered to pay for their meal. Lashley laughed it off, and of course, very predictable outcome here. Rusev showed up, they brawled, security broke them up, and that was that. So I thought it was a little underwhelming. Like, the execution of it, I thought could have been done a lot better, but that's just my opinion. Moving on here, we had Rey Mysterio come out, and he did in fact have pyro. We had Rey cut this promo about thanking the fans and saying that the fans are family to him, and they're all going to celebrate together at Crown Jewel when Cain Velasquez wins the WWE title and puts another scar on the face of one Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman was on the Titantron. He said, what happened in the UFC will not happen again, because for 9 years, Brock Lesnar has been looking at that scar and he's been lusting for revenge. Rey then fired back, yelling at Heyman in Spanish, when all of a sudden we had Shelton Benjamin come out. Still has this crappy music. What's funny is Shelton even went on Twitter recently and made a play for WWE to give him back his own music. I would have marked out if he came out to Ain't No Stopping Me Now, but instead he's got that crappy generic song. Shelton talked about his history with Brock Lesnar, which nobody in the audience even understood what the hell he was talking about. He said, I got a buddy too. He's the Beast Brock Lesnar. Shelton mentioned that he trained Brock Lesnar, and crowd probably was like, huh? And then he said, where's your buddy Kane now? Shelton proceeded to slap Rey, and then finally, Cain did come out because he is, in fact, a free agent. And then he took out Shelton Benjamin with punches that Shane McMahon was probably very proud of. I mean, they were not good punches, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, Cain, you're training at the Performance Center. Triple H, can you not get this guy trained to throw a good worked punch? I mean, come on now. That's like, I mean, Shane never really learned how to throw a good punch, so I guess Cain doesn't have to either. But those punches just look so bad. And it did not make me excited to see Brock Lesnar versus Cain. I feel like the match is going to be a train wreck. I mean, maybe it'll surprise me, but this segment did not make me excited to see Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar in a sports entertainment worked professional wrestling match. Eldrick Simmons. Looks like we have a newbie here with a $5 super chat to become the brand new reigning and defending No DQ Super Chat champion. And Eldrick says, with a curb stomp off of a ladder onto broken glass. Ouch. Thumbtacks and Legos as well. So we got a little bit of CCW here. CZW. Say that 5 times fast. CCW, CCW. I keep wanting to say C twice. But anyways, congratulations, Eldrick, on being the new champion. I appreciate it. We had a Seth Rollins interview, and he talked about Bray Wyatt, and then he saw Humberto over in the corner. So he walked over to Humberto and said that, Humberto doesn't understand Seth because Seth did not want to burn down the Firefly Funhouse. It was something he needed to do. It's not about making popular decisions. It's about doing what's right. And he said if he had the chance to do it again, he would. Rollins then proceeded to challenge Humberto to a match, to which Humberto accepted. We had Rollins versus, going to stop with the Alberto Del Rio intro for him, Humberto Carrillo, or whatever his last name is. Can't even pronounce it. I'm just going to call him Humberto. And, knowing Vince McMahon, he'll probably lose his last name in a couple weeks anyways. So the crowd did not care about this match. It was a pretty good match, but crowd wasn't invested in it. They were chanting, "We want Wyatt." Quite a lot of boos for Seth. And Seth was acting a bit heelish here, which makes me wonder, are we going to get a heel turn? The announcers were teasing it a little bit. Rollins was trash talking, and the announcers were saying that this is a bit uncharacteristic of Rollins, and they questioned, is Bray Wyatt finally messing with Seth Rollins and causing him to lose his mind? Humberto kicked out of some moves. He went for a moonsault, got a near fall, went for a second near fall, which was a rookie mistake to go for the same move twice, going to the well once too often, as they say. Rollins took advantage and then hit the curb stomp to pick up the victory. However, not a full-fledged heel turn, at least just yet, because after the match, Seth Rollins did shake the hand of a very game Humberto Carrillo. Backstage, we had R-Truth pin one of the Bollywood boys, but unfortunately for him, it was the wrong Bollywood boy. So therefore, the other Bollywood boy is still the 24/7 champion, and I'm not sure anybody really cares. We had the main event of Monday Night Raw. We had the Street Profits come out for their big intro, and even though their segments have been hit and miss, their promos, their entrance is really cool. And they do come off like stars with their entrance. I will give them that. We had the OC come out. They wanted to know, where's the third guy? Is he invisible? Street Profits did not introduce the third guy. And then we proceeded to have a 2-on-3 match for the final segments of Monday Night Raw. Interestingly enough, no women on this show other than Lana. Now, I believe the women were part of the Australian tour over the weekend, but I still find it really strange that we had no women's matches on this entire show. And I'm gonna have you guys, somebody out there, do some research here and try to find out, when was the last time we had a Monday Night Raw without any women's matches on the entire show? Somebody find out for me if you can. I don't know if it's something that's easily accessible, but I'm curious to know the last time we had a 3-hour Monday Night Raw with no women's matches whatsoever. I mean, I would think it would have to be going back to like 2015, but I'm not sure. I definitely don't know off the top of my head. So anyways, yeah, no women other than Lana on this show. And we had this match, and Dawkins got the hot tag. AJ interfered, and then all of a sudden Kevin Owens' music hit. So Kevin Owens, I guess, was the third guy, but he was in street clothes. He came out there, he hit the stunner to AJ Styles, and then Ford hit the frog splash to pick up the victory. So I guess Street Profits and Kevin Owens victorious to end this edition of Monday Night Raw. Oh, Zelina Vega too. So you did have 2 women on this show. I have the earbuds in, so the audio quality is a little bit better, just so you guys know. Here's my issue with Kevin Owens. Okay, I pretty much figured he was going to be the third guy. My confusion is like, why did you bother hyping this up if it was just going to be Owens? If it's going to be Owens, just have him come out there as the third guy. Don't do the whole mystery partner thing and then tease it to the very end of the show. It's a bait and switch tactic. And again, you're going to do that. You're going to put that much hype into it. Then you got to deliver. You know, you got to live up to the hype. When it's Kevin Owens, it's like, come on now. Just have him come out there and quit bullshitting with people. So I thought that was pretty lame to make the fans think that this was a bigger deal than it actually was. Bait and switch. So yeah, that was Monday Night Raw, everybody, and wrestling was good. You had some solid wrestling on the show, but I just wasn't feeling a lot of it. I was pretty bored with Raw for the most part. Show still feels stale. I still feel there needs to be a big overhaul, and WWE has done a very half-assed job at trying to freshen up Raw. Just feels like more of the same, and I'm just waiting for AEW. Like, to me, that's the show that feels the freshest right now. Fresher than anything on WWE television, for sure. So yeah, I give Monday Night Raw a C-. Little below average. Wrestling was good. The wrestling kept it from being below that, because I did think that the wrestling was pretty solid. Let's see what you guys thought. OG with a C+, Gary with a C-, Power Packers 90 C-, Caitlin with a C, Tic Tat Tat C, Mr. Anderson D, Kev Dog with a C, Michael Wynn with a C-, Caleb Jacobs with a D+, J Spin 401 with a D, Joseph with a D-, Marquand with a D, and Mike B with a D. Macaroni Tony with a C. I haven't seen like any B's for this show, so it's been all C's and D's. Calvin Bowman with a D, and Eldrick with a D. So yeah, looks like you guys were not too much into Raw this week. Hopefully things pick up with AEW and NXT this week, and then of course SmackDown. Thank you guys for tuning in to this live review. I appreciate your viewership and support. And again, if you enjoyed the video, click on that subscribe button, tell a friend, turn on the notifications for updates, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. I will see you guys